In the winter of 1944, the German counter-offensive in the Ardennes region had pushed back the British and American forces. This battle greatly showed the Americans that their tanks were inferior to the German tanks, so they had to come up with a rival. The American rival was the M26 Pershing, which was a much-needed response to the struggling situation and mismatch between American and German armour. The M26 came with a 90mm M3 gun, similar to that of the Tiger's 88mm. Pershing took part in some of the ending battles of the Second World War, and if it came into service in 1944, it could have drastically shortened the war by a couple of months. In the manual, the M26 is defined as a heavily armoured, fully tracked combat vehicle of low silhouette and torsion bar suspension, with individually strung road wheels. Although the manual classifies the M26 as being heavily armoured, it probably fits the character of a medium tank and a direct rival to the German Panther and Soviet T-34. The Pershing fought against the Panzerkampfwagen Wehr and Panzerkampfwagen 6 Ausführung E, Tiger, and a single Nashorn tank destroyer during the fight to cross the Hohenzollern Bridge. This bridge crossed the Rhine, which meant they had to capture it to get closer to Berlin. It also played a significant role in the battle for Ludendorff Bridge in Remagen. During this operation, a total of 5 Pershings fired shells onto the opposite side of the river, creating a path for US forces to follow and capture the bridge. By the end of the war, over 200 Pershings saw combat during the conflict. Probably the most famous engagement involving a Pershing was when an M26 engaged the Panther outside Cologne Cathedral, which resulted in the M26 winning against the feared Panther. The battle ensued with the Pershing slamming 3 shots into the side of the Panther before the crew bailed out of the wrecked vehicle. Other engagements ensued, however American tank crews often exaggerated what they had encountered. For instance, a Super Pershing gunner claimed to have encountered a Tiger II, but which was later found out to be a Panzerkampfwagen Wehr Ausführung H, or a Tiger, but not a King Tiger. We know that this was a Panther that went against the M26 at Cologne, as the duel was recorded by a photographer. The M26 Pershing also saw combat in Korea, where it fought with its predecessors and successors. The Pershing was superseded by the M46 Patton, which was an upgraded M26 with much more powerful drivetrain and engine, allowing it to cope better with the hilly and muddy Korean landscape. The main weakness of the M26 was its drivetrain and engine, which plagued its combat career and severely delayed the prototypes and its initial combat debut. The M26 T99 has 2 mountings on the side of the turret, used for firing 44 140mm M8 rockets. These could be used against tanks, infantry, or could be used as artillery. The M26 T99 was not put into production and was never really used. In Korea, the M26 was used to destroy armoured targets from the Chinese voluntary and North Korean forces. The Pershing engaged targets from 20 metres away and up to 2,700 metres away. The Pershing with its 90mm M3 gun was perfect for destroying the T-34s in Korea, but the tank was underpowered and therefore inferior to its successor, the M46. The M26 was the basis for the new frontline tanks used by the US, and that was the Patton series. The M26 and M46 were developed into the M47, M48 and M60 MBTs. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to support me, please consider subscribing to my YouTube page below. Have a good day and goodbye.